And Mary Kay, let's just get to JJ Watt. He is the gift that keeps on giving for us here. Of course, he had that tweet. I guess it was Sunday, the tweet about, it takes him forever to find a restaurant on DoorDash. We all feel that way about DoorDash. So give him some time to pick a new home in a new city. JJ Watt watch still ongoing. So Mary Kay, what can you tell us, as of about 3:30 on Monday, what the latest is on Watt?
Well, first of all, I thought that tweet was so funny because, like you said, he's so relatable, and just the couple of tweets that he's put out, he hasn't said a lot, but the few things that he does say or tweet, he really reinforces for me that he would be a fit in Cleveland, doesn't he? He just seems like a Cleveland kind of personality, just a Midwestern, self-deprecating, kind of funny guy. I think Browns fans would embrace him and absolutely love him. But the latest that I was able to find out, I think it was yesterday or maybe the night before, was that the Browns are still in the mix. Okay. And that was something that I really tried to spend a lot of time on Saturday trying to figure out whether or not they were still in the mix, because all of a sudden things have gone sort of radio silent, right? We haven't heard anything coming out of anywhere about where he might go or what's going on. So I was able to find out that they are still in the mix, at least as of yesterday. And that is because of all the reasons that I've outlined already. The fact that they have the potential to win. They have a good quarterback. They have the money to sign him. They have a good culture going on here. And he would have a good supporting cast with Myles Garrett. Now we know some of the other teams don't have the money. And one of the things that surprised me over the weekend, Dan, and you probably saw this too, was Tom Silverstein from the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. He tweeted that he does not think that the Green Bay Packers are going to be able to sign JJ Watt because they simply don't have the money.
Yeah, and the Browns got some good news on that front too with their rollover cap space. They've got a little more money to spend. A little more wiggle room under that cap. We still don't know exactly what the cap is going to be yet. We know it's going to be at least 180 million. Maybe it ends up around 185, but that's about the number to work with. And then you throw in that rollover cap. So the Browns got good news there. But look, it seems like the Steelers are still trying to free up space. Cam Hayward, they kind of reworked his contract a little bit to free up some salary cap space today. So these teams are definitely putting in the work to free up the cap space. The longer this goes on, is that better or worse for the Browns, do you think?
You know what? It's probably worse for the Browns because the longer this goes on, the more other teams, like you said, have an opportunity to clear cap space. And it seems to me that that's what some of them might be doing, not necessarily just to sign JJ, but just to be able to do something, whatever they want to do. Now we know the Green Bay Packers last week, they cleared about $10 million in cap space by cutting Christian Kirksey, was one of the guys that they cut. So they cleared 10 million, but that still only left them with, I think they were still about 4.5, an estimated 4.5 over the cap after they made those moves, which is again why Tom Silverstein, a long time plugged in beat writer for the Packers, is pretty adamant in saying that he doesn't see the Green Bay Packers being able to sign JJ. And I think that's huge because if they can't sign him, a few people that I've talked to over the last couple of days have said to me, oh, I think the Packers are the front runners. I think the Packers are the front runners. I think that's his first choice. And so I was kind of buying into that a little bit until I saw Silverstein's tweets. And I think he wrote a story about it today. And then I thought, you know what? Maybe that's not going to happen. And if that doesn't happen, then that puts you into the Bills, the Titans, again, possibly the Steelers and some other teams. And I think the Browns would be right in it with those other teams, right? I mean, I don't see any, unless you're talking about playing with his brothers or playing with Aaron Rodgers or playing with Tom Brady. I think the Browns stack right up with anybody in terms of what they have to offer.
Yeah, I do too. And I've said before, if I could land him for, maybe we disagree on this. If I could land him in that 10 to 12 million Olivier Vernon range, I'd do it in a heartbeat. I don't know that I would get into a bidding war, but if it turns out that all these teams just can't free up space and the best situation football wise and money wise for him is a 1-year deal or a 2-year deal at 10 to 12 million, I would do that yesterday. How high would you go? I'm curious. Would
I'd
you go close to that 17 million that he was making in Houston?
That seems a little high for me. I probably wouldn't want to go quite that high. The only reason why I think, would they do it or wouldn't they, is because they were willing to do that for Jadeveon Clowney last year on a
Yeah.
1-year deal. So for 1 year at that price, I could kind of see them thinking about doing that. But I don't know. I mean, that's kind of high. I think I would cap it out around 14 or so. I think I'd go, 14, 15, something like that, maybe. But if they really want him and they really feel like he is that missing piece that can get them over to the top and get them into a Super Bowl, then what's a couple extra $1 million here or there amongst friends?
Like we always say, it's not our money that we're spending. It's Jimmy Haslam's money. He can afford it.